This lesson we're looking at multiplying and dividing negative numbers. If you can get the title, grade and date into your book, don't forget underline your title with a ruler. For this topic we are going to be looking at what happens when you times and divide negative positive numbers. We need to look at all the different combinations. So I might have two negatives, I might have two positives, I might have one of each. We're going to look at all four situations, but as soon as you know what the method is for all four, you can apply this to any number that comes up. I'm going to start with just multiply to start off with, but we'll see that this actually works later on the same for divides. If I start off by writing down 3 times 5, can you make sure any notes that are going on the board, they go into your book as well? Now here, the number 3 is positive because there's no symbol in front of it. 5 is also positive, again because there's no plus or minus in front of it, or there's no little minus in front of it, so it's positive. So here we've got that positive 3 times positive 5, well, as we know, we've done this ever since primary, that is just 15. So when you times positive numbers, two of them together, you get a positive answer. If we now introduce a negative number, so here we've got negative 4 times positive 3, when we've got one negative number and one positive number, our answer, whatever it may be, must be negative. So if you've got one negative, one positive, the answer will definitely be negative. 4 times 3 is 12, so negative 4 times 3 will give us negative 12. Let's look at the other way round. So maybe the first number is positive and the second number is negative. So here we've got 7 times negative 2. This is exactly the same as above. We've got one positive and one negative. You've got one of each, so the answer, no matter what it is, must be negative. So if you've got one positive, one negative, answer's negative. And then just 7 times 2, well, that gives us 14. The only other combination we've not looked at is if we had two negative numbers. So here we've got negative 5 times negative 4. If you've got negative times a negative, so both numbers are negative, what that means is the positive answer. So negative 5 times negative 4 would give us positive 20. So if both numbers are negative, your answer will be positive. Now for all of this, we've been looking at multiply or times. The exact same thing works for divide as well. If both are positive, positive answer. If you've got one of each, so one positive and one negative, doesn't matter which way round, you would have a negative answer. And if both numbers are negative, you would have a positive answer. So let's just have a quick look at this with divides. So as always, if I did a positive number divided by a positive, we've done this since primary school, 20 divided by 5 would just be 4. Let's bring in some negative numbers then. So if I said 16 divided by negative 2 equals 16 is positive. Here we've got a negative, so I've got one of each. If I've got one of each, the answer will be negative. And then all we do is 16 divided by 2. Well, 16 divided by 2 is 8. So my final answer is negative 8. If I did it the other way round, it works exactly the same. So if I do negative 24 divided by 6, because we've got a negative number and a positive number, there's one of each, the answer must be negative. So by this point I know the answer is negative, and then just 24 divided by 6, or 24 divided by 6, if you go up in your 6 times table, 6, 12, 18, 24, 4 of them, so it just gives us -4. The last combination we've got is if we've got two negative numbers. So here we're going to do -5 divided by -10. Just as with the multiply question, this works exactly the same. Negative and another negative, so both of them are negative, it will give us a positive answer. So because we know it's positive, we just need to do the divide now. So 50 divided by 10, that gives us 5. The same rules apply no matter what the number. If both of them are positive, positive answer. Both positive, positive answer. If you've got one of each, doesn't matter which way round it is, and it doesn't matter if it's divide or times, one of each always means a negative answer. If both are negative, so negative and a negative, doesn't matter if it's times or divide, two negatives make a positive. You've now got some questions to have a little go at. Make sure you write each question and its answer in your book.